Hey guys, here at OS and VTXReviews.com, we're giving you our full video review of the Viewsonic G tablet, which is an Android 2.2 or Froyo-based Android tablet, and it's also upgradable by via a number of updates by Viewsonic, and also you can also hack this really easily. Since it's been on the market for a few days already, we've definitely seen XDA developers and do a lot of rooting and hacking and stuff with this tablet, so it's very exciting for that part. In terms of hardware and perspective, it's pretty on par with most Android devices on the market, most better Android devices. It's a dual-core 1 GHz processor running the show by Integra, so you're going to find that the chipset is really smooth when running the live home screens, running all apps and web browsing experiences. Everything from browsing the web to watching flash-based videos should be really smooth, and all animations should be present without any hiccups. And equipped with this 10.1-inch capacitive touchscreen, everything should be pretty smooth in terms of the visual perspective and actually navigating around the home screens. You find that it's pretty typical in terms of home screen navigation. You can also change the home screen, of course, to VSonic's infamous their own little UI, but that UI is just so long gone, and so many people hate it because it's so slow. They've actually decided to send an update directly allowing users to just use direct Android 2.2 or above without having to use their own Stage UI, and not Stage UI, that's by Dell, but their own UI, which basically takes you on a very basic functions like Twitter updates, Facebook updates, and that's pretty much all you can do with their UI. So this is a much better option. It's a lot more free, and that's what Android is really all about. So again, going back to the product, it's got a lot of specifications. It's really on par with a lot of great tablets in the market these days. The screen is really great. It's really a widescreen experience, and the processor under the hood is also very nice. In addition, you have Wi-Fi in here. No 3G, but you do have Bluetooth. We do have stereo speakers. We've got a full USB port for connecting to flash drives. We've got a webcam up top, and accelerometers and tilt sensors and G sensors, whatever you want to call those. Hardware-wise, we also, above the screen, we have a webcam. This is a 1.3 and 1.3 megapixel webcam, so nothing too special, but it's pretty good for web chatting applications. And on the right-hand side of the tablet, we do have capacitive capacitive sensed buttons, which consist of a search, a home, a menu, and a back button. These are capacitive and really easy to press, especially in this horizontal view. Unfortunately, these buttons are not backlit, which means that when we're using it at night, we can't really see the buttons. Like if everything is dark and maybe we're reading this at night in our beds, we can't really see the buttons, so we have to turn on the lights just to really feel our way around there. It's not too impressed with that. But on the left-hand side of the device, we do have an on-off switch. We do have a flap, which is covering the full USB port, and an additional micro SD card slot, which allows you to expand memory up to 32 gigs. The internal memory built right on into the tablet is 16 gigabytes, which is, again, fairly on par with most tablets these days. We can also expand that really easily, while it's via, again, micro SD card, or we also have a full USB to add a keyboard, to add a flash drive, whatever, a hard drive, whatever it's supported. We've also got a micro USB for syncing and information in the internal memory. One side of the stereo speaker leads us to a 3.5mm headphone jack and a proprietary charging jack. Not so happy about the proprietary charger. On the bottom is your proprietary dock to connect it to TV and HDMI ports. On the right-hand side, we have the other side of the stereo speaker. On the top is going to be your volume rocker and nothing on the back. Overall, it's a very clean design. You're not going to see too much stuff. It's fairly weighty, although it's fairly slim as well. It has a lot of stuff going on underneath the hood. Although it's not the newest tablet on the market, it's still one of the first tablets ever to run a dual-core processor to ever come out with Android. And even now, it's still pretty relevant in terms of speed and hardware. So in that department, you definitely expect it to have some components under the hood weighing it down. But it's still fairly sleek. It's made out of plastic, though, so it's not gonna. It sometimes might cringe a little bit. Definitely not as sleek as an aluminum unibody, such as the iPads or anything like that. One of the biggest selling points of the Viewsonic G pad in today's crowded market is definitely its price. It comes out, if you can pick these up at Office Depot, Best Buy Online, stuff like that, on Amazon and stuff, you can definitely, the MRSP price has now dropped from $499 down to $299, and that's just the as-is price. Now with a lot of discounts and stuff, you can maybe even find this for under $200, and for that price, it's really worth the deal. The screen is fairly bright and responsive. Again, the capacitive screen is pretty good at multi-touch and pinch to zoom and a lot of gestures. but the screen itself is really bright. It's pretty easy to see in direct sunlight. Unfortunately, though, although Viewsonic is infamous for making their displays, although the pixels are really sharp and vibrant, and when you're looking at the display head on, you can really tell all the colors are really great, and all the pixels, you can't make them out. Everything is really fluid, and it's just a great experience for watching movies and video content in general. But unfortunately, the viewing angles aren't that great. For example, you know how there's some screens like the Viewsonic, like the Samsung Galaxy Tabs or the iPad, where you can't tell any viewing angle issues at all. Where if you're looking at something from beneath, it doesn't really make a difference if you're looking from the top or the bottom. On this device, there definitely is. Looking at it head-on, colors are really saturated and they're really great. But looking at it from below, as you can see, the clock has turned black, and that's showing that you can't really read the display at all from a lower angle, and from above it gets really bright and saturated. So the best really viewing angle is from directly looking at it from the face. So the accelerometer is working once again. Everything else on this tablet, though, is pretty, it's not a lot of customization. We do have the customization from Viewsonic, but if you don't want to use their UI, this is basically what you're going to be presented with. I added on a few extras, such as pinch to zoom for the Leap View, where it takes you to your 5 home screens, and you can tap on which home screen you want to activate, and you can just simply swipe very easily to access icons and live home screens. If you want to change a home screen, it's also fairly easy. Wallpapers, again, it's really smooth. Due to the advanced processor under here, it doesn't have any impact on how much open applications and really how much live home screens we have open, which is pretty impressive. So for example, we've got Galaxy running, which is pretty cool as well. We can change a live home screen just like that, and it doesn't really impact anything, so fairly impressed there. Anyways, we also have access to the updated Android market, which is right here. The Android market, we can also go home. Hopefully, how do we... Yes, that's going home, and it's basically the extended version of our mobile phones, but also due to the updated OS, Android 2.2, and you can also run 2.3, and by XDA, you can also do honeycomb if you hack it a little bit. It's great. It opens the door to a lot of possibilities while still running really smooth. All the graphics look great. Even on this large screen, it really does make a difference on the tablet computer, and you can definitely see the games and the categories. Really fast to download the games. Connection over Wi-Fi is sure to be enough for most people just to download stuff on the go. A lot of people, though, are probably going to be more interested in terms of actually using the web browser, so we'll launch that. We'll open the app tray first to give you a little look at the animations and how things are just really smooth. The camera is a little stuttery. It's not the actual tablet. It's running very smoothly. We open up something like the web, and that will take us to, you can access YouTube videos directly, which means that Flash 10.1 is supported on this device. That's great news. That means that you really don't need a standalone dedicated native browser. You can just use the web browser, and sound quality is also very excellent. Sound from the stereo speakers are really loud and really clear and crisp, but you should probably use the Bluetooth built in to get stereo headsets, or I would just recommend you to pick up a pair of 3.5mm headphone jacks to enhance the crisp and the basses of most videos. You can see all the Flash contents are loading, like Katy Perry's movies and stuff. And multi-touch is fully enabled. Right now, awkward doing this with only one hand, but you can definitely zoom. Okay, we'll just show you the scrolling effect first. Scrolling up and down the list is very nice. There's no stuttering of any kind, and there's not going to be any checkerboard patterns when we're just going up and down the list. So another impressive aspect of this device. So again, multi-touch, fairly smooth, fairly responsive as well. There's Flash loading. That's pretty much everything. You can also download, of course, Google Maps. You've got all the bonus applications from Google directly out of the box, like Google Gmail support, and it's fairly standard in terms of everything. That File Manager. We've got our apps and games, Google Search, and it's a very fun device. You've also got voice recognition built on in. So it's very fully packed, and really just the selling point of the Viewsonic G tablet is going to be its price. For such a fully stocked device, it's got a lot of stuff going for it at a very inexpensive price point. So Viewsonic G tablet, check out our full review at OSReviews.com, and thank you for watching.